What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 43 of Rapid Unscheduled Discussions. I'm, of course, your host, Seth Kurkowski, running the show on my little tiny little stream deck here. And with me in Orlando, because we can tell by the colored lights, it's Daryl Sausse. How's it going, Daryl?
Hey, yes, I am still in Florida.
Dude, you're traveling. You staying there. You're running the show over there, man.
I am, I am still in Florida again because I think that's happened before.
I think that's what you said last week. I'm still in Florida. Like,
Well, no, I said that about 3 weeks ago because that was in the middle of another long trip here in Florida, and here I am again, another long trip in Florida again. I'm still
we
here.
have had a busy week.
We've had a busy couple of weeks.
You have been, yeah. You've stayed like what not? How many? When did you first get to Orlando?
I got here not Thursday of last week, but the Thursday before.
Okay, so the Thursday after, the week after Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's right. And then then I left after that for Texas
hmm
that Friday, and that's where I was all of last week. And then now I'm here. I'm back home for tonight,
Yeah.
just for tonight, so I can do this stream. So we weren't in the same room together, and I can like do a few things before I head back up to stay with you for 108, as well as Sirius XM 7's booster return.
Yeah.
So because I like seeing those, and I have Zach's car, so I should probably bring it back to him as well. That's
I
probably
think
a
he
good
would
idea.
appreciate that. He does know where you live, so yeah,
He
don't
does
try
have my
anything
address,
funny.
and his aunt and uncle are not that far, and his uncle can. I wouldn't want to have him angry on my doorstep, so.
Yeah, don't try anything funny, mister.
So the best week we've had, we did a terrible stream last week, and I feel bad for Nick. I wasn't
Yes.
expecting. I knew the internet was a little shaky, but I thought we had enough internet to do a decent stream, and we tried something different with Zoom, since we were
Yeah.
both away from our main setups. So, like,
Mhm.
first of all, apologies for that terrible stream.
Yeah,
Uh, but
oof.
hopefully, I mean, it was kind of like we didn't have much of a choice, and we kind of want to do a show that time
Yeah.
because we had time for a show. Just internet kind of just crapped out at that point. So
And we were still. Uh, that was before Starship happened, huh?
oh,
When we
well
did that
before
episode.
Starship happened. Starship
Yeah,
happened. I think it was Wednesday or Thursday. Wednesday.
it was like
It
yeah, it
was,
was Wednesday.
and that was, oh my gosh, the stupidest freaking thing I've seen in my life. Like, that's
Yeah,
the best way. Like, stupid in a good way. Like.
let's lead with that. Go ahead and
So,
talk about what
so
happened with you and Zach and Starship.
Yeah, so we did a last minute travel decision like the Friday before last week's episode, so 2 Fridays ago,
hmm
and we're like, I'll just get a flight to Louisiana. You'll pick me up the next day. We'll drive down to Boca Chica.
Yeah, here's the funny thing. The one time that you and Zach were both in my hometown together, and I'm not there.
Yeah,
Go freaking figure.
you're busy doing other work.
I was. I almost went to Texas with Zach instead of you, and I decided to still come out here to Florida because I was accredited for CRS 21 and then SXM 7 and hopefully 108,
Yeah,
which
hopefully.
is probably going to be okay. But
Yeah,
yeah,
it'll be
hopefully
fine.
that too.
Yeah, and so we got there. I think on Monday. Did I go out Monday for photos? I think it was Tuesday I went out for sunset photos. I don't remember. Maybe I didn't have them edited, but I'm going to share my screen with you.
Do it.
If I remember how to do that with this. Here we go. Um,
Been a while,
and
huh?
I'll share it with Daryl so he can see as well.
Thank
We'll
you.
be nice to him.
I got the stream pulled up, so don't
And
matter.
also I can put a little faces right here. Cool. All right. So for sunrise, like I don't know, something about South Texas, like the colors are just like crazy good. Like at sunset, there's no
Yeah.
trees in the way to block it. It's just all flat land, and of course, some liberties with some editing, just make the colors just look crazy cool. And so we were walking around the sand dunes out there at Boca Chica Beach, and came across a little floodplain here with some just beautifully still water, and to get some photos of Starship. It's like she just works it. She works the sun like it's I don't know what to say. I can't say anything peachy. So This one's probably my favorite, and this one's my. I think this is that my. Actually, no, it's not. I thought it was my screensaver. It's not my screensaver, but it's one of my favorite photos I think I've ever taken ever. The
Nice.
clear reflection of Starship and a little bit of Starhopper in the water. Man, it's beautiful. And this was later. Another photo later. Like like you zoom in, you just get like perfect silhouettes of people working. And,
Mm-hmm.
like some people, someone got a photo of people working underneath Starship SN8,
Mhm.
and like that, like perfectly silhouetted. This guy, like on the left here, was just working it. Like he knew people were taking photos, and he just was like just a stud, just modeling for us. It was hilarious. He stood there
Work
the
it.
entire time,
Work
and
it.
he looked like a boss. But yeah, dude, like I want to go back, dude. I'm addicted. Some palm trees because they're literally the only trees for like a few miles, I think. So, like, oh my gosh, dude. Like, I mean, this was our view from our hotel room.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's like it's stupid. Like, you got up there as soon as we got to our room. I think like both Zach and I like ran to the balcony and looked, and it's just like, yeah, clear as day. You can see it. Like it's just it's
You guys were like overgrown children when you got there, huh?
oh 100% children. Like I've never just wanted to sit on a balcony since I was like probably a little kid. We got our first hotel room with a balcony ever. I just sat out there for like I just watched it. It was great. And that's what we ended up doing. We did like a 5-hour stream, I think, with Zach's MacBook M1, which that's a beast of a computer.
It's
I'm
all
not-
right.
That thing, 5-hour stream. He worked on it. Didn't even get warm. Thing's crazy, dude. Thing's absolutely crazy. So I don't know. I like this photo. I took this. I don't know. I like it.
Hmm.
High contrast with the black and white behind it.
Ooh, that is nice.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't even seen that one yet.
Yeah, I tweeted it out. That was like one of my months. It was between me like acting like a grown child on Twitter for a few hours. So
Was that during that period of time I for some reason had unfollowed you on Twitter?
I'm gonna come out and out myself here. It was actually a whole there was a whole plan between me. I think it was Jared.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what it was. I don't remember what started it, but I shadow banned you.
Oh,
Which is how was that? I think I blocked and unblocked you.
so you made good on that threat, didn't you?
Yeah, I think I said I was gonna shadow banned you, and I did. I blocked and unblocked you, which meant you unfollowed me,
Ooh,
and I unfollowed. I didn't even follow you back till like yesterday, I think.
bruh.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, and
this guy here. Y'all see what I got to deal with on this show? It's ridiculous.
and it was hilarious. It was like a week or two.
Oh my god.
And like I think it was. I'm pretty sure it was me and Jared. It's either me and Jared, or me and Harry. I think it was me and Jared, and we were just like giggling like little children for like 2 weeks. Like he hasn't noticed yet. And all of a sudden, I think you said it. You tweeted somewhere, or you said something. I think on a stream.
I said it to you.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was. You just like, what? I haven't been following you. Like, what happened? And you followed me, and you were clueless. And then I went back to Jared, just like giggling like a small child. Like he's like, he bought it. He didn't even know.
This jerk here.
It was some good fun that we had.
Wow.
But dude, like, it was so much fun just walking around Starship taking photos.
Yeah.
Like, it's so beautiful down there. It's so easy. There's Declan, sexy Smolder. Don't need to worry about it. You know. You can buy it at SethKirk.com/Declan. You can get your points. That's a legit link. Now some people couldn't get the work, but I don't know. But and then it was actually this is this photo of Declan. We after the launch we went to this is the second time we went to Meatball Cafe.
Uh-huh.
And Declan was like very puzzled, very confused about
what?
Because we were every single person there, like based off his simulation, we all assumed that it was going to just skyrocket. It was have like a thrust to weight of like I think over 2, I think, and
Oh,
just fly off the pad.
this thing had a TWR of like
One, I
1.01.
think it was 1.01 or 1.02. That thing crawled. It was when the engines ignited. I was there with like Antran, who's shooting for Space Explored, Declan from Space from Flight Club, Martin from SpaceX Reddit from the SpaceX Reddit, Jack Bauer from NASA Spaceflight, and like there was a couple. I think Richard Angle there was nearby, and a few other people, and we just all kind of just like did it scrub. That's a scrub. Like it's not moving, and all of a sudden we kind of just saw like it move a little, slowly move up, and we're just like, oh god, it's happening. Oh man, it's happening. It's happening. And this was afterwards, and he was so puzzled by like what happened, and he watched the stream over. I was like watching the gears turn in his head of Flight Club, just like cabin, and all of a sudden when he figures it out, he gets this like giggle. He's like, figured it out. I figured it out. Dude. Yeah. I think here I'll scroll up to my photos here. I think I have them pinned. That's right. It got delayed. I don't know why. I don't know if we're actually certain why it got delayed the first time that day. I think some people speculated a range violation, but I think
Yeah,
it ended up not being a range violation. I don't really remember. But there's a lot of talk of what could have caused it. But they had they shut it. They aborted. What was an abort? It was a kind of a safe. They safed the rocket real quick.
Okay.
But that meant it got pushed to like 4 something, right at sunset, or right at the start of sunset, right at the start of golden hour, dude. Which I couldn't ask anything better for. Yeah, you can see. Like we're only about 5 miles away, so you can see it just clearly anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And the people like, it was like everyone was so excited. Like it was like, imagine like the people at least at like around the Space Coast are kind of used to it. Like they see a launch and they kind of go like, oh, that's cool. Like yeah, it's a launch. Like we see those a lot. You know.
Yeah, but the closest thing, like I've spent enough time on the Space Coast to know that a normal launch is one thing.
A test flight like that is completely different.
That vehicle in particular was just absolutely ridiculous. I mean, I think the closest thing the Space Coast has seen to that is
Falcon Heavy.
No, not Falcon
Really?
Heavy. IFA. I would say IFA.
Yeah, okay, you're right. Yeah, in-flight abort. Yeah.
The rocket was lost on purpose, or as the memes like to say, task failed successfully.
Yeah. Test failed successfully. Yeah. It's like a double
Is that
negative.
not accurate?
Is
that not
what
accurate?
it is. Yeah, it failed. It blew up successfully.
It did.
Yeah.
It did.
And
But that's the closest thing the Space Coast has even seen. So
yeah,
the folks in South Texas, my God, they got a good treat.
They got a really good. They were seeing like they only seen like a few hundred feet or a few hundred meters, and like this happened, and like you just like people who are like I hear like people screaming, "I love SpaceX! This is awesome!" Like it was just like it was a whole bunch of people pretty much seeing their first, like a couple hundred people seeing their first real launch for the first time. That's kind of like
and I mean
that's
not even a normal launch.
It's not, yeah, but it was the closest thing to a launch they've seen so far, and they were just all ecstatic. And like this, SpaceX has brought like such a huge community together around like this, and it was so awesome to see that firsthand. Like I'm so happy I went to just see that, and oh my gosh, like I can't wait to go back. Like that was like watching it on stream's one thing, seeing that with your own eyes. It's just, because it moves so slowly. I would fill up my buffer, and I'll be like, I'll just sit and wait for my buffer to fill up. They'll go back down. I'll just sit and watch it as it's falling out of the sky, looking like a fat whale. It just came from heaven. Like
it's like that whale from, and I saw a meme about this earlier today. It's like that whale from The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. The missile that gets transformed into the whale. If you haven't seen it, I know this sounds ridiculous already, but as it's falling through the sky, like what was SN8 thinking at
Yeah.
that very moment as it was coming down? Just, that entire scene comes to mind.
Yeah, like
Uh,
it just like I was like watching that thing come down and it's just like I'm like, is this actually happening? Like is that thing actually and then like it was just kinda like dumb watching it fall down it's kinda like just like I don't believe what I'm seeing. Like not like it just like it thing just looks it just looks stupid.
oh yeah,
Like and all of a sudden then when
absolutely.
it reignites the engines, we were all like first of all, they never relit the engines in flight. So that was
Uh,
in flight. They've relit the
well,
engines, but they've never relit them in flight, which is a
oh,
different
you're saying
dynamic.
they never did that before up until now?
Yeah, they've done
Okay,
static fires where everything's controlled, it's vertical, but they've never lit it horizontally, um,
right.
and then so quickly light then relight. So we're kind of just sitting there like, well, like we have no idea how this is gonna go. They might just not relight, and it just body slams the earth,
Yeah.
or maybe like it's SpaceX and they've done the simulations hundreds of times, thousands of times, millions of times, and they got it and it's gonna land. They're gonna land it and they're gonna stick it. No, some people were not hoping for that because they wanted to see explosion, which like at that point, your mission successful. You can blow it up.
I mean,
Uh,
and they still got one at the end too.
yeah, yeah, they still got, but like it was kind of something. I'm sitting there, I'm like, man, like if this thing lands, I might just lose my mind. Like I might literally like at the point like we're just throwing stuff around because I don't know what to do with my emotions. Like I don't know what to do. I would just go start punching people because I don't know how to get my emotions through anything. I don't know. Like I
Oh
don't.
my god.
I'm just like if it lands it, I'll just lose it. And
Uh,
it
Fair
ignited.
warning: if you ever do that, I am not bailing you out
Oh
of
no, yeah, I
jail.
wouldn't expect anyone to bail me out on that one.
Yeah,
Not one
you
bit. I
deserve
would just
that
be
one.
like, I'll just be like, I don't know, man. I just couldn't control my emotions, and it's just I didn't know what to do. But like it ignited it and it flipped it. Like it almost got vertical, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, it's doing it, it's doing it. And all of a sudden, like a little bit of fire, and I'm like, yeah. It was like it didn't do it, but also like explosion. Yeah, but
Man.
yeah, I was coming up with like different excuses in my head too. Like when I saw the fireball, I'm like, maybe some debris hit the tank farm. Like maybe that's just fire from the engines, and all of a sudden like it just kept getting bigger and bigger. I'm like denying it. Like, I'm like, no, it's fine, it's fine. I was like, it's just I'm like taking photos, like it's fine, and then like I'm like, that's fine, it's not fine, it's not fine. But that's just freaking awesome.
If you would have watched it on the stream, you would have known instantly. No,
Oh
it
yeah,
was not fine.
yeah. We
Because
watched the
I'm sitting
stream.
here, I was sitting here at Zach's place, and I sure hope I annoyed the neighbors because it would have been worth it. But as it's coming down, I can tell. I've seen enough of these kinds of things to kind of get a feel for it, and I see it coming down, and instantly it's like, no, pull up, come on, light your engines. No, too fast, too fast. Oh, good job, good job, good job.
Yeah, the engine.
That's how it went.
One of the engines went a little engine rich.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and for those who don't know what engine rich means, you have fuel rich, means that the engine burns more fuel than oxidizer, and you have
Mm-hmm.
oxygen rich, which burns more oxygen than fuel.
Mm-hmm.
And you have engine rich, which means it's burning too much of itself than fuel or oxidizer.
Yeah.
So when I kind of knew someone was up because I think on one of my photos you start seeing like orange coming out the tip, and I'm like, I don't think orange is supposed to be coming out of a methane powered engine. I think it's
No,
just I don't.
it's pretty much like a blue and white.
Yeah, like
This was
there shouldn't be orange smoke coming out, and all of a sudden I started seeing the green, and I'm like, nope, that
ooh,
thing,
that's bad.
that's not working out pretty well. Like, it was kind
Yeah.
of the when you watch Star. Do you guys when do you remember when Starhopper flew? Uh, at the right at the end, you started seeing the
Yes.
exhaust change,
Yes.
and yeah, it reminded me of that. I'm like, oh, you better shut that engine down quickly, otherwise we're just gonna blow, man.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
oh my gosh, yeah. So yeah, we got back. That was a long. We drove back. We're gonna try after that, which leads us into the next launch, which finally happened after like months. And of
I know
course,
where this is going.
of course, when it happens, it's the one attempt I miss. Yeah, you're cheering.
I'm dancing because I saw it. I seen it. And buddy, let me tell you, that was I wasn't the only one who said this. All right, I've in the few weeks that I've been here, I've gotten to know some of the guys who've been doing this for years. All right, um, there was one person I was chatting it up with while we were waiting for SXM7 the other day. He said he's done 187 launches, or he set up. We were talking about remote cameras. He set up 187 launches. All right, he's been around. He said that Delta 4 Heavy launch we were at the other day was the loudest he's ever heard.
Yeah, well, yeah, because you were so
Oh my
big and
God.
close.
Yes, we
Yeah.
were. We were. It was really surprising, but Press got to cover that launch from 1.8 miles away, I believe is what it came out to be. And that's insane to be allowed to be that close to a heavy launch vehicle, the second most powerful operational rocket in the world right now, 1.87 miles away.
I don't understand how that was. I don't know how. I don't understand how any of you came out alive.
You know what? There's worse ways to go.
That
That's all I'd
I don't
say.
know. I think I'd rather die from the exhaust of a rocket than the sound of the rocket, because I think the sound of the rocket is like probably miserable to get killed by.
Unless it does it quick. Unless you're
I
like
don't think
really
I have
close
a
and it
feeling
does it
sound
quick.
from a rocket does not kill you quick. I don't think it does.
Well,
I feel like that's a slow, miserable pain. Painful
funny you
death.
should talk about the sound. I picked up a video recording of that Delta 4 Heavy launch the other day, and I'm gonna link it in the chat right now for anybody who wants to see it. It was the audio that GoPros picks up is highly underrated, especially for launches. I mean, it doesn't clip, and it's got a full range of sound, and I highly recommend all the time to everybody, watch these kinds of videos on a good sound system. Like we were sitting there lining up at the press site the other day, and I'm going back just looking at the video. I had it playing through my Jeep with a premium sound system. I know I was shaking other people's cars with it. It's insane how loud this was. Like at the actual launch, the sound was I could feel my pants shaking up against my leg. Like that's how insanely loud this was. And I think my ears are still ringing, and I'm completely okay with it. So I picked up that video, and then
Ears are
what?
ringing.
What?
The ears are ringing still.
Yes, and then I picked up that video, and then I also had an absolutely phenomenal night really, of shooting. Everybody's seen my pictures, but I'm going through them again here in Lightroom. You know how you said your picture in Texas was your new favorite picture you've ever taken?
Mm-hmm.
With each progressive launch I have seen this time in town, I keep saying the same thing. It's my new favorite picture I've ever taken. New favorite picture I've ever taken. I mean, the stuff I got of this Delta 4 Heavy was insane. There it is. I'm waiting to see it pop up in the stream.
No, yeah, it should be there. Yeah. I'm fixing the having a full screen and not split down the middle. So you should be good.
Okay.
Yep.
But yeah, this Delta, and these are some remote cameras I got to set up. And then so I saw that. I was hanging around in town. We set up for 2 different launches that day. The next one that happened was Sirius XM7. Now, remotes is still a brand new thing for me. Earlier in the week, I got to set up for CRS-21. I went 0 for 4 on remote cameras. We talked about that in last week's episode. You live, you learn, then you get loves. But SXM7, man, let me tell you, I got a new favorite picture right now. I don't even know which one is my favorite. I want to say maybe.
Oh,
this
now
one?
we're going right into XMS7. Who's just forgetting about Delta 4? Who's just forgetting about Delta 4? After all those attempts, after all those midnight trips I went out for us, for you, and 8 a.m. resets, we're just skipping over it like it was nothing. I see how it is. I see how it is. I see how it is.
Hey, you've already seen a Delta 4 Heavy launch. I haven't.
I'll be
We're
honest with
even.
you. Delta 4 Heavy is the probably one of my favorite rockets until Super Heavy Starship. Like,
Yeah.
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 Until
No,
that one
it
launches,
was
Delta Four Heavy will be my baby. Will be my favorite rocket
it
ever
was
to fly.
it was absolutely obnoxious. It was a very pretty sight to see, and I mean, it just went on and on and on forever in the sky. And there were some guys who I don't know how they snuck in, but they were, I guess, doing construction work. They had like the safety vests on and everything like that, and they just pulled up next to me. I'm like, fine, whatever. Um, they were kind of wondering out loud, like, wait, is it coming back down? Is it coming back down? Like, nope. It's supposed to, this one's supposed to look like that, guys. Everything's fine. And sure enough, the mission was a success. Tori tweeted out a simple 142. I retweeted it and said, "That's it. That's the tweet." So that means mission success again. And you know what? They did everything right. They took some heat for not getting this off the pad for so long, for having so many tries, and it's going to take forever to make it happen. But you know what? They ended up getting it. They ended up getting it.
Yeah,
So
like
good on them.
their coverage was pretty good for a classified mission. Their coverage is pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a ULA stream. Like, it's technical. It's good. It's to the
Yeah.
point. We watched it from Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
We were spending the night at Zach's house or Zach's place there. So yeah, it was. I was a little salty. I was kind of sitting there. I'm like, come on. Like, I wanted to go, but I also don't want it to go at the same time. Like,
You just didn't want it to go to spite me.
I want not to spite Daryl because
I
Daryl
know
would go
you.
right back out there and do it. But I'm like, I
know
kind of
you.
want to see it. I haven't done a streak in so long. I want to do a streak.
I would have, but I was stretched thin on camera gear. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, because you also had Sirius XM7.
Yes.
A very serious launch.
Super serious XM.
Super serious XM. And,
I can't resist that joke.
In there. I squeezed in there as well for viewing.
Yeah.
Luckily, and man, that was my first Falcon 9 from press. I've only seen them from public areas, and
they get pretty loud too.
And when I came back, people were asking like, "Oh, was Starship as loud as a Falcon 9?" And I'm like, I'm thinking in my head like, well, Falcon 9s aren't crazy loud because I'm hearing them from like over 10 miles away, and I'm like, it was a little bit quieter than a Falcon 9. And that was only 3 Raptors, so like Super Heavy's gonna be super super loud. Until I heard this one, I'm like, oh man, Falcon 9's way louder.
Yeah.
Not even close.
that thing, yeah, that thing will bust some eardrums too. And the
crackle, like now I finally understand. Like I from like other people who've watched them have talked about. Like you get the crackle. Like, it's almost like the crack snapple pop. Welcome to the crack snapple pop gang or something like that.
Yeah.
And like you get the crackle. Like the Raptor. Sorry, the Merlins get that little crackly into it, which you don't hear from. You hear a little like. I'm gonna call it a crackle from the Atlases, but you get like a good fire sound, I guess you can call it. I don't know, but not as much as not like a big crackle like you get on the Raptor, and there's still air, like there's barely a breeze, so that thing was freaking loud. And I got some cool photos. Like I actually got some good photos as well from that. So you did. I'll show my screen as well. So,
you did. You got some good stuff on that one.
Yeah, like I should probably actually click share on this side. So yeah, like the reflection came back a little bit. I got out there and I got a little overexcited. Like the water was just glass when we first got out there, and I was like, oh yeah, let's do it. And I felt like I wished it away pretty much. Like as soon as I said that, like 50 minutes later, the wind started picking up and it was gone.
It was totally your fault, man.
I blame Noah myself. That's kind of what it looked like when we first got there. A pretty good reflection of the rocket in the water there. So
yeah.
And then this was launched. I actually had 2 cameras. I had 1 portrait, which I actually really like that setup now. Doing 1 portrait, one landscape. Might have to start doing that more often.
I'm telling you, it's good. That's what I set up as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I was a little too zoomed in to get the full exhaust. I was like, I don't know why. I wasn't ready. I really showed up knowing nothing about the rocket, just knowing I can get in to view it. Like I'm sitting there, like we're at the press site. It's already like an hour in. I go like, Daryl, when is the window, by the way? Like I don't like. I know it's
Wow.
Sirius XM, but I don't know anything about this launch. Like I just show.
Here's my article, which, whoops.
I just show up for these things sometimes now. So,
Good Lord.
yeah, no, I thoroughly enjoyed that. I want to go see more Falcon 9s now from that close.
It was good. I mean, you get some great pictures and share them with the world, man. That's why we got into this, because we love this stuff and want to share it with the world. And here we are, living the dream.
Yeah. So
We're
yeah, your
we're
photos.
lucky to be able to do this.
Yeah, you got remote photos.
I did. I
Yeah.
did. Would you like me to go back to those?
I would love for you to go back to those.
Okay. Give me uno momento. Where'd it go?
Huh.
There it is.
I still see your face. There we go.
So
Yeah.
after the failures that were CRS-21, some wonderful folks in this community helped talk me through it, figure out what the heck was going on, and I like to call it. I've seen other ones that are out there, and my focus was a little off, so I call this a soft focus engine shot. It was off by a smidge, but I mean, you really can't tell unless I
Just
tell
crank
you
that
about
clarity slider, dude. Just crank it.
Yeah,
You'll be
crank that
fix it.
sharpness.
Yeah, crank
Yeah.
the sharpness.
That was one of them, and then this I kind of screwed this up when I set it up, and I said, you know what, let me just see what happens, and bam, I get this beautifulness too. And I got great stuff from the press viewing site as well. But this was actually, you know what? Hold up, I want to show something weird. I guess you can call it weird. I was kind of half thinking about trying this, half not thinking about trying it, or whatever. Let me sort by this guy. Give me one sec. I gotta find it. So it's all about the crazy things you could do at the pad. And I said, let me see if I can make something work from the other side, and I kind of sort of got it. There's not much detail. I really had to trim into this picture to get it, but yeah, I can't even zoom in much on it. I took I had a lot of great pictures to pull from, and I found one that had some really good clarity on the engines and whatnot, and I said, let me see if I managed to make something happen. So that's it. That's how that one went. So all around, it was a good day, and now I gotta gear prep and hopefully get ready for one more this week. That leads to Enroll 108.
NROL 108. The thing
Yes.
that's been kind of just hanging in there. Also, just kind of popped up.
Yeah.
It's ready to go.
I've been looking forward to this one because it's a RTLS.
We don't get to see those that often anymore.
I don't have an
CRSs
RTLS
now,
picture, so that's what I need.
CRSs aren't RTLS anymore.
Right.
Most payloads kind of require the drone ship to go out. So, I'm looking forward to seeing this one too. It's been a while. Last one I saw was Psycon 1B, and my photo. I'm hoping for better photos.
Yes, same here. Now,
I'm hoping for way better photos.
As of about 20 minutes ago, more or less, the weather forecast, we're still 60% go on it on launch day, 80% go if we gotta go to the backup day. So that's really good.
Yeah, and I'm like kind of sitting here. I'm like, man, I wanna, I'll probably stay for it, and Friday's pushing it, cause
Right.
I have a flight to go home on Saturday evening. I think might be early Saturday morning. I don't know at this point.
I'm just going home whenever.
At this point, I've flown so much in the past few weeks that I probably shouldn't have flown. But to do things, I'm like, I just show up. I get the notification 24 hours beforehand. I just show up.
This should be another beautiful one off of 39, right after we had CRS-21, so it shows you how fast they can turn a pad around and do it again.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's just looking out for that booster landing. So Hopefully we get it. That'll be a cap to a great end to 2020 as far as rocket
A
launches go.
great end to this week, which has had not just well, we had almost a wet dress rehearsal. I'm still not like SLS had a wet dress rehearsal last week. Didn't go, I think, as smooth as they hoped for, but I think they're saying it's pretty good. But
Hmm.
I think that's gonna add a delay. I think they're gonna I think, but and then
Yeah,
we also had Virgin Galactic do a test flight, which actually ended up in an abort.
yeah.
They lost the computer lost connection, and didn't finish the start sequence of the engine. So then they glided it back down to the glider, since it's not powered. It's only powered by that hybrid engine that they have on it.
Hmm.
So they glide that down. So it's been a busy week. We still have Virgin Orbit.
Yeah.
Their demo 2 launch.
Hmm.
We have Rocket Lab hopefully in the morning. Doing
In
their
just a
launch.
few hours, which I may or may not be up for. I haven't decided yet.
You better be up for it because you have Farron return tomorrow morning.
Oh god.
Yes, you do.
Yes, I
So
do.
if
Um,
I had the motivation to drive 2.5 hours back up in the morning to be there for it, I would. But
mhm.
I'm gonna enjoy my bed tonight. That's what I'm gonna enjoy. I'm very much
Yeah.
enjoy my
So,
own bed. I have not slept in it for over a week, and last time I slept in it was only for like 3 days before I left it again. So
well,
I miss it. It has a memory foam top. Oh man, it's
yeah,
beautiful.
we're about to cap off like I said, a great couple of weeks. I mean, we had Starship have its flight, uh, Delta Heavy got off, Falcon 9 launched SXM, SLS, and then we got another Falcon
Yeah.
9. SLS.
I think we're still hopefully on track for a hot fire later this month, but probably I would not be surprised if that gets pushed into January. I think that
SLS is doing things. We're
SLS
proud
did
of you.
some. Hey, SLS did something this week.
You could do it, SLS.
We're just happy to see it do something.
Now, for all I'm not a hater. I'm just making jokes because that's what we do on the show. I'm waiting to get an evil look across the room too. Um,
Yeah, you do have the biggest SLS fanboy over there, so
yeah, there it is.
I think the only biggest fanboy in that is probably you. So
Well, I mean, it's a matter of hometown pride for me. That's where it's built. In fact, um,
I got to see
they,
it. I got to see where it's built.
yeah,
I actually got to see the core station. Well, I got to see the lights of where the core station is. So
what's the name of the place where it's being built?
Mishu.
Yes, very good.
I
I'm
know how
proud
to
of you.
pronounce it now. After I think 2 hours driving of Zach harassing me. It's like me too, and I'm like that. No, how about me shoe? Me shoe is way better. Literally,
Yes.
that's how it's pronounced. Apparently, is me
Yes.
shoe. Because
Now
you
spell
people
it.
in the South don't know how to use D's. I guess.
Now spell it.
MISCHOUD.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't remember from. I think I don't have a photo. I don't know if I have a photo of myself in front of Stennis. So
That's your homework for next week.
nah, nah. Yeah. So I get to stop by Stennis and Michi on the way to Texas, and
You did?
we were gonna stop at Houston, Johnson to see that Falcon 9 there. But I
Mhm.
think we're gonna plan to do it for the next trip down. We've already planned out our next trip pretty well. So we had one hotel room, which worked. I think it worked for most people. But I'm like, I think two hotel rooms. We bring a microwave and a coffee machine and some like maybe a little desk and some computers and stuff like it's a good setup, and we just rent the hotel room for like 2 weeks. So I think we're gonna next time we go down there it's gonna be a little bit more legit, and I'm excited for it.
Yeah, cool.
So
Well, yeah, and,
you know,
and maybe I'll tag along with that one. I don't know.
maybe you
Haven't decided
will
yet.
bring out Nick maybe from California. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll have some fun with that. You want to talk about next week?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. So because next we are getting close to the Christmas season. Next week I'll be heading up there for a few weeks to my parents for a few weeks, doing nothing, like literally going nowhere. Uh, that's what we did for Thanksgiving. I came up. It was just my parents and I. We went nowhere, and it was fun. So doing the same thing. Next week, we will be doing a little Christmas special before we end season 1 of Rapid Unscheduled Discussions. So, what we'll be doing is we'll be baking cookies on the stream, live for everybody. And our first guest we'll be having back, of course, the only person that I feel is qualified to be a guest on the stream is Julia Bergeron.
Yeah.
The cookie baker masteteer. Is that a term? I don't know.
It is now.
She'll be one of our guests. We'll be looking for a second guest to come on as well to bake some cookies with us. So, it's either gonna go okay or terrible, but that's kind of the point.
That's the show. That's how it goes.
And hopefully by then Daryl will be back in his own place. So
maybe. Hopefully.
Maybe. I'll
we'll
be
see.
either in my parents' kitchen or my brother's kitchen. I'm thinking my parents' kitchen. His dog, my parents' dog's a little more calm and cuter. Well, no, my brother's dog's pretty cute, but not as calm. So that'll be the season finale as well of our first season. We have a little bit of news we've been talking about. Not everything's situated and finished. It's pretty much set in stone, but there's some details we got to talk about still.
Right.
And we'll be announcing that next week. Pretty excited about it. Kind of a big step, but it'll be next week episode, Christmas special, a couple weeks off, and then we'll be into the New Year's. We'll be back for some more episodes of your favorite, somewhat serious space podcast / more of a live show, since I always forget to edit the audio. But what?
Hopefully you don't forget that this time, because
No, season 2 will have audio every single episode. That is my goal.
That is right.
That's actually my task.
That is right.
It's actually my job. So we will be So that's next week, and that's that's the update. And anything else, Daryl, for this week?
Sleep.
I am looking forward to that one. So with that being said, I am of course Seth Kurkowski. You can find me at Seth Kurk. Let me actually go back to that screen with our @ on there, at Seth Kurk. Daryl's at Sausse Images on Twitter, and find us there. Like our photos, share them, buy them, do whatever you want with them. Make fun of us, or make fun of us. So
yeah, there you go.
You can do whatever you want. So we don't have no terms of service on our Twitter pages. So with that being said, we'll see you guys. We're looking forward to the next week with you guys. See you.
Bye.